My name's Samantha Muller, and I've been with the police department for a little over 12 years now.
My name's Lieutenant Nathaniel Muller with the Lexington Police Department.
I'm Kyle Toms. Been a police officer with the Lexington Police Department for almost 14 years now.
In 2011, I was working Central Sector, so downtown area, and the area that I was working the most was Limestone, 7th Street area. And during that time, I was able to work with vice units, and they would do prostitution stings. And I got a closer look at how much it was actually happening in the city and how it was happening. So I was able to be an undercover decoy, and I saw just how dangerous that lifestyle really is. I actually never did it again after one of the gentlemen that had approached me ended up having a gun, and I chose never to participate in that assignment again.
I became involved with Natalie's sisters back in 2012 to 2013. We had responded to a call at the Days Motel. It's a motel on Russell's Road involving some prostitution. And during our investigation, we had a conversation about how it would be a good thing to maybe get some of these girls off the street and maybe get them into some programs instead of just always arresting them and having no out for them in the end. And Sergeant Muller let me know that there already is a program that was really recent that was going on called the Natalie Sisters.
I was working in the Central Sector area, which is actually this area right here. Working in this area night after night and realizing that a lot of the work that we were doing, the conversations that we're having with the women that work on the street down here were very unproductive. They were unproductive because we didn't have a lot of resources to provide for them. We could come down and do enforcement, we could come down and issue citations or take people to jail when they needed to go to jail. But beyond that, there wasn't a whole lot that we could do productively to be able to help them get out of the situation that they were in. So there's a lot of frustration on our part, quite honestly, because we're talking to the same women night after night, 40 hours a week, down here working.
I found that I had a soft spot for women that were stuck in that lifestyle. Myself and at the time Officer Muller and Officer Martin, we all were working together, and we realized that we were coming across the same women over and over, and we wanted to do something different for them. We didn't know what we were going to do or how it was going to look, and I think at the same time was when Jamie felt it on her heart to start reaching out.
You know, God made the connections that we weren't able to make, and we're approached by, at the time, it was Bruce Reed, and they were talking about expanding the club ministry, which was something that we were a little bit familiar with, expanding that into the street, turning it into a street ministry for women that are out on the street involved in prostitution. Our role was to be able to start some of the introductions, the police side of things. These are some of the women that could really use your help. And then beyond that, to provide security for the operations that happened downtown and the times that they went out and talked to the women downtown.
So on a weekly basis, on Tuesdays and usually Fridays, we do a drop-off. And on those days, officers will meet volunteers in the nonprofit program over at Central Sector Roll Call, and we get inside a vehicle, all 2 or 3 of us, and we will drive over to the 7th Street area and also the Cardinal Valley area. On one day, we'll pick and do the 7th Street area, and we'll drive through looking for the girls on the street. When we see them, we'll stop, get out and talk with them. The officers provide security for the volunteers. When we stop and talk to the girls, we ask them, kind of like what's going on. If they're having problems on the street. If there's any help that we can provide them. We also provide them with lunch, usually a sack lunch that has a sandwich, a drink, different things that they can survive on the street. We also invite them to Natalie Sisters Center, where all the volunteers are here to provide support, different resources that they could go to. And the same thing in Cardinal Valley. We drive through Cardinal Valley area, look for the girls and provide them with the same support and invite them to the same center.
The thing that really separated the Natalie Sisters volunteers is they just kept coming back week after week, day after day, month after month, and starting those long-term relationships with the women that were down here. And up until now, there really wasn't anybody that was willing to do that. People were willing to come and drop off lunches, but they weren't willing to sit down and have those difficult conversations or actually get to know the women and be involved in their lives. And if I was going to point to one thing, outside of God's influence in all of it, I'd say the one thing that I could say that has been the biggest change is just the level of involvement, the intentionality with which the volunteers come down. There's just so much turmoil and there's so much chaos in the lives of the women that are down here on the streets, that having something as solid and reliable and dependable as this ministry is really life-changing.
I would say that Natalie Sisters has definitely changed the way that I'm going to interact with a woman that I believe is part of the sex industry. She is now, in my view, a victim and not so much a suspect. And I think that I've learned so much about what they've actually gone through and why they're in the situation that they're in. And so I find myself, asking what can I do to help, and not so much, what does the law say that I can and, could do. Doesn't mean that they don't go to jail if they have to, or if I have no other choice. But if I can say, hey, let's go get a warm meal and get some resources, I'd much rather do that.
We really see a different perspective of the girls working in this organization. You really get to see that there is a real life with them, and they're not really sometimes on the street by choice to be involved in criminal activity. That they're almost forced to be on the street because they have nowhere else to go, and really changes your true perspective of how you see these girls and working in this program. And I'm really glad that I started this several years ago and can help out in any way I can.